last month we commended the DPW, and kudos to you guys again for all the work that you've been doing. I'm glad you got a little break right now in the weather. But I also wanted to mention that I've been working very closely with Danielle Alani and Anita Nero, and in the youth department and community recreational services. I set up a meeting with the county, I think it was about a week or so ago. And Danielle and I went and we met with Chris Hoyt and Jean Brooks from the county youth department. And some of the news there was rather disturbing because of the governor's proposed budget, there's going to be a lot of cuts, as we know. And the youth departments, throughout the state and at the county levels could really be decimated. So that will be very, upsetting for us here. We do get some monies from the county. We get what's called a youth development and delinquency program funds. And unfortunately, we did file for them. It was voluminous paperwork, and Daniela will probably speak more to this, but we did file that paperwork, but we found out, because paperwork was not filed last year, that we're going to be penalized 1.5%. So it's a small amount of money that we get, but it's going to be made smaller because of that penalty, and I'm just hoping we get it because of the cuts that are proposed. I just don't know, but I wanted to thank Anita and Danielle for the work that they're doing, put a lot of programs together in a very short time. Thank you. And I think that was it. Thank you.
I don't have a lot to say. I'm on vacation
Well,
for
even on
a couple of
vacation,
weeks,
you've
so,
been enjoying yourself. That's good.
that's been fine. We did meet with the finance committee last night, and I'm very happy with the progress that we're making. I believe we're trying to do a 2-week meeting. A couple people were sick and couldn't make it at the last meeting. But it's a very smart group of people, and we're making progress. It's not always fast, but we have a lot of plans, and everybody's on the same page as far as trying to get things open, get quarterly reports out to the public. And it's a good group of people. I enjoy working with them.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. I'd of course like to thank Dave Van Warmer and the DPW staff, of course, for this continuing battle against the elements. This winter, I guess it's kind of taxing our salt revenue a little bit, but we're, it's always a crapshoot, I guess, when it comes to the snow. I guess this might be a record. I guess they're kind of looking at maybe it might be a record year. I don't know. They keep showing the snowfall counts and seeing how close we're getting. But at any rate, the folks plowing our roads are doing a great job. I would also like to thank Eddie DiMartino and the East Greenwich Fire Department firefighters. On February 3rd, I woke up, actually my wife woke up, we smelled what we thought was burning plastic, and I instantly was thinking electrical fire. I dialed 911, I got Timmy Bowl, he dispatched everybody, I mean everybody showed up. On Bonnie Court, there was about 4 different apparatuses, including Bruin, and unfortunately, ended up being our refrigerator was on the fritz. After they examined the entire house, I swear to God, I think the guys wanted to set my hair on fire just so they had something to put out. And I wouldn't blame them, obviously, but I used to have to, you feel so protected in a moment like that. And I got to tell you, I mean, everyone was there. Chief Lavin was there. It seemed like everyone in East Greenwich was there. My neighbors weren't too wild about it. It was 3 in the morning, and everything was lit up like a Christmas tree. But they do a great job, and like I said, you feel safe. And it's at a moment like that we certainly appreciate our volunteers in town. So thank you to everyone. I also would like to thank the board and all the other town employees who expressed their condolences to my wife for her mother's recent passing. So I appreciate that very much, as does Mary Ann. We've recently, as the supervisor knows, we've recently dispatched our corrective action plan regarding the ambulance district, sending that off to OSC. There were a number of points in the plan that our board embraced, and I'm appreciative of, including but not limited to the hiring of an outside counsel for our ambulance district. We'll be bringing on board at some point in the near future an EMS consultant as well. We're also going to be looking to appoint ambulance commissioners to, again, assist the board with respect to ambulance district operations, as well as an annual audit of the ambulance district. So these were all facets of our corrective action plan, and I know that they'll be embraced by OSC, and we're looking forward to implementing these probably over the next year. Just to brief the board up to date, bring the board up to date on some of the other aspects of, in the short term anyway, relative to some of the other aspects of ambulance district operations. We're looking to get rid of we're looking to dispose of a Rescue 62 vehicle that is no longer needed by Bruin relative to extrication. So we're looking to have the contract, the personal service agreement contract that we have with Bruin Rescue amended to remove the extrication provision. That's going to be a short-term action, which is going to be handled in the next couple of weeks, I would think. And that will enable us to dispose of Rescue 62. It's going to enable us to pay off a bond that we've been holding on that truck now for a number of years. And thereafter, we'll be able to probably look at some additional contract provisions relative to some of the things that were brought out in the audit. So those things are, forthcoming, I guess, and we'll look forward to getting those done. Thank you, Rick. Thank you.
Phil? Thank you, Supervisor. Just one thing, in light of Jim leaving, we're going to be looking to replace him. So if you know anyone that's qualified and interested, have them submit a resume to Town Hall, and in the next month or two, we'll be doing interviews, so let everybody know. Thank you, Supervisor.
Okay, we will head for the reports, and Mr. Cherubino.
I have nothing further, Mr. Supervisor, thank you.
Thank you, Joe. Daniela?
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. For the past month, myself and my Deputy Director, Anita Nero, we've been really busy. We're accepting registrations for our spring after-school bowling program for the schools Janae and Red Mill. As of right now, we've received a pretty good response. We're about halfway booked, and we still have about 3 weeks left for people to register. We're also accepting applications for summer employment, and within the next couple of weeks, we should have registration forms for campers available on our town website and in the town hall. Our Odd Jobs program is starting to pick up. We've got a response from about 10 children in the community looking to work odd jobs, ranging from snow removal, yard work, babysitting, elderly companions, anything like that. So right now we're really looking for people, seniors, full-time working parents, anybody needing that extra help to call our department, and there's also a registration form available online that you can fill out stating what kind of work you're going to need to be done, and then we can fix you up with an individual who is looking to do that kind of work. As Ginny already mentioned, I met with Jean Brooks and Pierce Hoyt at the Rensselaer County Youth Department, and we discussed a lot of plans for the upcoming year, as well as potential changes due to the passing or not passing of the budget. And I also filed all of our program applications and assessments for the year 2011. We've also spoken with the Columbia High School peer leadership and the participation in government students, and we sent them out a letter letting them know that we have a lot of community service opportunities for them where they can get all of their hours that they're required to submit for the school year. And we can help them out with a lot of different opportunities to volunteer. And Finally, we're continuing our free hot chocolate giveaway out of the Hampton Manor Beach House, Friday nights from 5 to 8 and Sundays from noon to 4. If anybody would be interested in helping volunteer, that would be greatly appreciated. And we'd also like to thank Zachary's Pastry Shop for donating trays of butter cookies for the program. And I've submitted my monthly report to the town clerk. Thank you.
Thank you.
Chief?
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. I have filed a monthly report. It's on file in the town clerk's office, if anyone wants to look at it. It's also available online on our website under current events. You click on that page, you can see that report and other monthly reports, as well as information on cases that we're working on and arrests that we've made recently. That's all.
Thank you, Chief. As you've noticed, since this is Jim Moore's last meeting, I didn't want Jim Bright to be lonely in the future, so he has moved up. Jim, anything at this point?
A couple things, I guess. One is just we're almost wrapped up 2010's final results. We still had a couple invoices trickle in. But we ended the year fairly positive, and that's kind of the message relating to Moody's. General fund showed a surplus of about $75,000, which isn't a lot, but it's a step in the right direction, which is all we're looking for is to kind of reverse the trend. Every other fund, with the exception of highway, also showed a surplus. Highway was negative, about $160,000. A lot of that was due to some paving projects that went over budget, due to some cost of raw materials that went up from what we budgeted for. I'm in the process, I've gotten 2 quotes for financial statement audit for 2010. The third one should be coming in relatively soon, and we can start looking at that and getting that scheduled for them to come in. And I think that's it. Thank you.
Thanks, Jim.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. My reports have been filed with the town clerk. I'll give a quick overview of what we've been doing for the last month and a half or so. Plowing. A lot of plowing, a lot of salting. We had 8 snowstorms in the month of January. We used a total of 1,224 tons of salt. And overtime for the month for the highway department was 756 hours. Believe it or not, we're still under budget with the salt. We're trying to cut down a little bit on the usage, but we still have some room there, so we don't get too much more. Transfer station overtime is 57 hours, maintenance department 16 hours, and the water department had 8 emergency call-outs, and they totaled 64 hours overtime. There's been a little discussion about the not having a contract with Kelman for our scrap metal, and I've spoke to them a couple different times, and there's no benefit to us having a contract at all. The prices change monthly, so there's nothing that can be written in stone with that. We're doing well with that. For the month of January, we brought in $1,400 in scrap. So I think the only thing that having a contract with them would do is just lock us into them, and we can't move out of them if we wanted to. So I think we're where we want to be with that, just staying on a month-to-month basis. And we're keeping a good eye on it. Every time they pull, we have a check within 2 days. So it's working out well.